Hey everybody, welcome back into the Dota 2 Canada Cup Season 6 group stages. We are here with our last two Group A matches of the night, and of course of the tournament. It is going to be FDL versus Elite Wolves. We're already into the draft and it's well underway. Of course, Canada Cup presented by moonducktv. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. My name is Maut. With me today on stats, Lurker Duper, who's done a great job. We've got Pitmuckle, kind of iffy. And then of course we have Purge on the analysis. Purge, how's it hanging, man?
I'm well supported right now. I'm sitting in a chair. I've got a blanket over my legs. They're in a good place.
Thanks for that update. It's exactly what I needed to hear.
I don't know what else you wanted to know.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. So we're jumping into this game. We're jumping into the draft currently. And obviously, we talked about this a bit before the break, but FDL have to win this game in order for Group A to continue onward. If FDL were to win this game and the next one, we would enter a three-way tiebreak between DC, FDL, and Elite Wolves. So that's something to keep in mind, obviously, I believe, actually. So we'll have to see how that does turn out. I might be wrong about that, actually.
I think you're right, because DC's 1-1.
Yes.
Mischief is 0-2. FDL is 0-1.
No, I'm right.
Wolves
Okay.
is 2-0.
I just gotta stop second guessing myself, man. That's the big issue.
You got
here.
it, man. With that said, I think it's going to be tough. Elite Wolves is clearly looking like I think they're about as good as DC, but they did beat him in the best of one yesterday. So with that said, DC made FDL look pretty bad yesterday. So I think it's going to be a tough game. FDL has extremely talented players. I believe that absolutely. But Elite Wolves clearly has amazing teamwork. They played with each other a lot. They know that they're on the same page. They have strats developed. And I feel like FDL may be another team that just kind of throws friends together leading up to the tournament and tries to make a go at it. And they don't quite have the same execution.
I will agree that they didn't play particularly well against DC yesterday, but I feel like there were glimmers of hope there with their squad, that they can play at a high level. Their draft maybe wasn't up to snuff. I like the Invoker pickup. I've heard Rhyme has been really playing out of his mind recently in some of his games. So I'm excited to see what they have for us in the future. And if they can win this game, all the better. That makes it for more drama in Group A. We could see more games, obviously. But the way that Elite Wolves are playing, as you've mentioned, has been just, I think, a tier above the rest of these teams, maybe with the exception of Elite Wolves. We are going to see a new look from them, however, as there is no Ember Spirit. So Smash will not be playing the hero that he's played twice already in this tournament. He'll have to go for another one. On the other side, the first IO of the tournament, FDL will pick that up, as well as the Darkseer. Elite Wolves will start off with the Slaughter and Dazzle Purge.
Not too surprised to see the IO. It's one of 04's best heroes. He's one of the best NA IOs. Not very well known for it, but Aosin would always tell me about that. He's like, you know how I knew IO was good is because he used to play a lot of Dota games with 04. He's like, we'd go into pubs, he would pick IO and I would random, and we'd duel offlane every single game. And every single time we would wreck. We would absolutely wreck our lane. And he practices Wisp a lot. I think it's FDL going for comfort picks. We'll see if they have a strat focused explicitly around it. But I think it gives them a good option. They can, if they get the game into a point where they're pretty equal, they can do a lot of aggressive maneuvers around the maps. That's going to put Elite Wolves on the back foot. They'll have to play with mindfulness that there is an IO in the game, and at any point, two heroes can show up. So I like this idea out of them.
The relocate gank is strong. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but 04 used to be part of AOSIN +4, did he not?
Yes, he was. He was. It
was Guanzo 04. I think AOSIN obviously. I think Kikoni, or is Kikoni 04?
Yeah, Kikoni I believe was on that team. I know that name, and then there was the fifth guy as well, but
can't remember.
But it was mainly Aosin, 04, and Guanzo, I believe, are the best three on the team.
Yeah,
but I might be wrong about that.
That's for sure. That was one of the first teams I got into casting in Pro Dota 2, if you'll call it that, and that was a lot of fun to see them play. And 04 back in the scene now, a part of this team. I'm very excited to see what he can bring. For Elite Wolves, they'll go for the Bane. The Mirana is still up and available, which has been Misoku's calling card. However, with a Bane Dazzle, that does leave it in the hands of a core if they wanted to pick it up. So more than likely, no Mirana this game, just Bane Dazzle. Solid heroes, both defensive and aggressive. Bane, of course, with his lockdown is pretty damn good. And, locking down an IO or whoever he's with the Fiend's Grip or Nightmaring is going to be pretty nice. Slaughter can stun. Very good against IO relocate ganks as well. So I already do like Elite Wolves' lineup, and FDL are going to have to impress me as we move through this draft.
I kind of like the IO as well because it does protect them against a possible Mirana pick, because the lackings of the defensive supports is that you can't keep a single hero alive for more than 8 seconds, but an IO definitely can. tether somebody, overcharge, you just spam those heals and you keep them going. And it may be a solution against Elite Wolves playing that playstyle. With that said, though, I think Bane is a good solution against the Wisp combo because you can generally just sleep the core and just kill the Wisp. So it'll give him a good option.
Spirit Breaker, a little bit of run at you, and he could be a paired partner with the IO. The Jug comes out for Elite Wolves with IO, or EWO. God, that's going to be confusing. I played it the first game against Digital Chaos yesterday, had a great time there. Got a Blink Dagger Battle Fury, which has been the new sort of build that I've been seeing. Extra range for your Omni Slash to get in and out, even with the Blade Fury as well. The damage from the Battle Fury, just some extra farming utensils as well. Not a huge surprise that they go for the Juggernaut pick here, but for FDL grabbing the Spirit Breaker, I do like that at least a little bit.
It's good against the Bane, good against Slardar as well. It gives them a hero that can run at Elite Wolves and makes it so they can't just chase on FDL continuously. So it'll create some space as well for IO, a hero that is going to be targeted heavily by the Elite Wolves hero. So I like their draft right now. They can do a dual offlane, Spirit Breaker, Darkseer. I'm not sure who the mid hero is for Elite Wolves yet, but a lot of heroes right now are a little bit weak to Spirit Breaker that are commonly played the mid lane, so they should be a bit covered. I'm thinking Quap maybe will be the last ban for FTL. They're just banning cores here. I think it's good strategy.
Ban Smash heroes, ban Van heroes, ban EWO heroes. EWO will have his at the ready, and it looks like Van will probably be playing the Slaughter in this particular match, but the Smash hero. He's got a lot of them. He's had a lot of variety. Brewmaster's one that has been coming up recently, and that hero not played too often. I'm not even sure the win rate and competitive in this particular patch, but it's still available if they do want to go for it. How do you feel about Brewmaster heading into this game if they decide to pick it up?
I don't think it's very good. It's okay. You can dispel a couple spells. You can throw the IO in the air while you deal with the rest of the team. But I'm not a huge fan of Brewmaster. He's not very good against Tiny, Spirit Breaker. They have lots of nukes and lots of stuns and stuff like that. So I would go for a semi-carry that has some physical damage. Doesn't have to go all in on the physical damage. But with Dazzle and Slaughter, they've got tons of minus armor right now. So that alone should allow them to do good damage. But I wouldn't put everything on Juggernaut and Slardar's shoulders. I think some kind of a semi-carry in the mid lane would be great.
And maybe with a little bit of team fight. I wouldn't mind seeing a Mag. The Mag Juggernaut combo is something we used to see a bit. They will probably get a Battlefield for the Jug anyways. I don't know how good Smash's Mag is actually. I don't think I've seen too many. He might have played 1 or 2 games, but I haven't seen them recently. I'm just waiting to see these last bans. Because like you said, FDL, I would be very surprised if they didn't ban Quid Pain, because that is their most picked hero for Elite Wolves, at least recently. So don't let that Quid Pain get through if you're FDL, but we'll see. Or they'll just ban it. Forget it. That's fine too.
Bit surprising, but I guess I kind of like it with IO Spirit Breaker. Or, well, actually, IO Tiny plus Spirit Breaker. All they'd have to do is charge somebody, have Queen in the area, and then within like 2 seconds, you could have 4 heroes on top of somebody. Their dive would be amazing with that, and pretty good burst damage, pretty good lockdown as well. Quap would have been good. I like the Magnus ban. You're absolutely right on the money there. It would have been so good with Juggernaut and all of these other stuns that they had. It would have really would have amplified their team a lot. They should go for something team fighty though. Like you said, maybe Brewmaster is going to be the best pick. It's not an amazing pick against the heroes FDL has, but the team fight would be solid, and they definitely need a little bit of that.
He can get locked down pretty hard, and he won't be able to get his ultimate off if he gets the combo on him by Tiny. Which, by the way, we haven't even mentioned that this is the Tiny IO combo. They can send it mid. That is something that a lot of teams still do, is send Tiny IO mid. And then you get that early Blink Dagger. You get all over the map. Had a pretty rough game against Elite Wolves trying to do the same thing. However, I don't think they had an IO actually in that game. I'm not sure. 12 seconds left to reserve time right now for Elite Wolves. They're taking their time. Brew is still available. It's going to be a Legion, however. And now you have to wonder, are they going to dual lane mid with one of these heroes, like maybe a Bane Legion, Dazzle Legion, something like that, and then deal with the Tiny IO in that way, or just send the Legion mid solo?
It's a weird pick. Like you said, the lanes are a bit weird. Obviously, they're expecting a Tiny and an IO in the mid lane. I think that's pretty safe to expect. So maybe they put something like Juggernaut there with a Bane. Maybe that's a bit better than Legion Commander, because Jug at least can spin to evade some of that damage.
True.
I'm curious why the Legion was picked at all. I guess they can lane him against Darkseer maybe, but even that's not even that amazing.
With the amp damage the amp damage with the and the Midas armor, Legion is pretty good in a duel at the very least. So there is that.
Yeah.
But
all right, and FDL again goes for the Sven. They picked this yesterday. It took a while to ramp up, but I like it a little bit more this game than yesterday's game, because The Sven aura is going to be very nice to buff up the armor of everybody on FDL. That's going to limit the Omni Slash damage. It's really good against Omni Slash, I would say. It's really amazing against Omni Slash. Pretty good against Legion Commander, and good against Dazzle as well. So I think Sven is actually good this game. He's still going to need some big items to be strong. I would say S and Y Blink maybe. Similar to what he did yesterday. BKB is still important, but he might skip it this game, because the stuns are a little bit more limited and they all go through BKB. So we'll see.
Well,
like
you talk about the build up. The Sven pickup, you like it a bit more this game. The Sven game for them last night was not particularly great. I do want to talk about it. I can actually see these banners now, and now I know what you're talking about. That's ridiculous. You can't see them? All right. Well, it's probably better if you don't. Yeah, give him the screenshot, send it to him. Oh boy, Kevin, you're missing out, man. There's some great banners.
Is it sexual?
Oh, well, it's sexy. I don't know. I wouldn't call it sexual, but it's sexy.
That's rhyme, guys. I know for a fact that is rhyme.
What a cutie.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
I do like the Sven and the IO though. It's a really nice combo. MVP Phoenix used to run that strat a little bit in Korea. Works out really nicely. You just need, it's like basically a free Sanjin Yasha on the Sven if you think about tether movement speed and the overcharge attack speed.
Yep.
So it makes the Sven stronger earlier, and this is maybe something that FDL needed yesterday in their game.
Does this break up the laning for you, or is it still going to be the tiny IO mid? I don't imagine you put a Sven IO mid. I mean, I guess you could, but that's probably not going to be the case.
It does make their laning a bit weird, but the nice thing about IO is that he combos with so many of these heroes. All three of the cores he combos well with the exception of maybe Darkseer, I guess. So he can help out his team in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
he can combo with Sven, he can combo Tiny, and he can just TP to a lane and combo somewhere else.
The Spirit Breaker, I forgot, even overcharge with him is very solid. And Corey is going to get spotted by Mystico. He'll just zone him out with one right click, and they're looking. A toss comes in already. The stun's kind of coming for Bisa. Now this is the Iron Shells. Pull the charges in. They have to go for the Shadow Wave. They don't go for the Grave first. There's the Brain Sap. Io in trouble. The first blood goes to Elite Wolves. They overestimated their potential in this fight. Now Franz in trouble. Toss back in. The Iron Shells on everybody, but they're so low. Franz will fall. 3-man stun. The Shadow Wave actually did so much work. How do you overestimate yourself so hard? What a start coming up for Elite Wolves, and they're going to lose 3 as the Bean or Bisa. Going to get right click down. And guess what? It's going to be Smash's Legion Commander getting the kill with the overwhelming odds. What a freaking disaster. Wow.
That was really well played by Elite Wolves. I mean, FTL, it was a cool plan that they tried to accomplish here. Tossing. It was
what we were missing.
It was a cool plan that they tried to execute there, but the problem was that it was so far away that the Sven stun wasn't really followed up by that much. They needed to do a lot of right clicks while that stun came out, and unfortunately they just didn't get close enough there, and it led to FDL losing 3 heroes to start the game off.
I mean, this is game losing, because now the Tiny's not, or the IO's not going to come mid. He's going to go top. He's like, I didn't get the bounty room. There's no point in me helping mid. So Rhyme's going to get maybe obliterated if this Bane stays around. Smash will have a good start. He'll be up to level 2 pretty quickly as well. Rhyme can still last hit pretty effectively against the Legion, but they have a lot of work to do to get back into this game. Ewo gets almost up to level 2 because of this as well. He gets some extra farm. It just suddenly starts to snowball out of control, and FDL are going to have to make some big plays, I think, Purge.
Yeah, they definitely are going to have to do that. They have the hero for it. It's Io, man. He allows you to outplay your opponents, but there are 2 supports. It's a Spirit Breaker and an Io. Not very good laning supports, that's for sure. So for now, he just has to get as many levels as they can, and maybe try to transition, kill a Dazzle or something like that.
Yeah, Dazzle's going to throw a ward down, should block the camp, and that's going to be pretty nifty. It's not that hard to sentry that. I've actually, yeah, no, that'll be fine if they could find it. Rhyme will be right-click down. Mystico is staying mid. This is going to be a dual lane for all intents and purposes. Charge up Masoku. He's actually in trouble. He's got no Shadow Wave. And there's the tether as well. He's going to try to get under the tower and deny himself that way, and not able to do so. And that's going to be the Bean, or Beast securing the kill. So, okay, they get 1 kill. It's on a Dazzle share. That's fine. But they need a little bit more than that.
Well, on the other side of the map,
Corey? He surges away just in time. Yep.
He's getting good CS, and it's against a Jug, so he definitely can pressure him. Jug kind of wins this lane once he gets Healing Ward, but that's only if he has the mana to afford this here. And Corey's actually pressuring him a lot.
Yeah, he's going in. Corey has Surge, but he's not going to look for the kill. Top lane, Van's starting to get zoned out. They've rotated the Dazzle to the top lane. Well, actually, he's been here. He's died already once. Franz is going to go ahead and try to get the 2-minute rune. Can he take it from Smash? Yes, the ping advantage coming out from FDL. Not by much. They have 2 Europe Westers against the Peruvian squad, so.
That's a really big steal there. Ooh, Nightmare coming down.
Coming in, Rhyme, overwhelming odds, Brain Sap. They have the damage. 1 more right click and Smash It's about 5 feet away from him. Somehow hits him with that sword. Dota 2 sometimes. You're a bit questionable.
That was a valid kill, though. It was a nice nightmare there from
Right.
MGod or the Bane. I like that play. It was nicely done.
Rhyme will have some trouble, but the other 2 lanes going okay. Last hits for the Sven, not that great. Only 6, but they did secure the kill for him earlier on. The waves are going to continue to get pulled. They did center that camp that was blocked, so no deal there. Like you talked about, the healing ward should be coming out. In fact, it already is for Ewo, so now he can start standing up. He's got the Stout Shield, the Iron Shell still harassing, being kind of a nuisance. Corey will head back and throw another Iron Shell on one of these creeps, I'm sure. And this is going to be the big ticket. We saw Mike last game having the early start and getting some decent farm, but he wasn't able to carry the game, and Darkseers hardly ever do, so... Maybe he'll rotate up and try to get a kill early with Sven. I don't know. Well, hopefully he gets involved. I think that's the best bet.
It's looking alright for FDL here. I mean, obviously the Tiny's having a lot of trouble mid lane. Smash is definitely getting the advantage here. He's got 2 kills, 2 assists, and 14 CS, but I think FDL definitely has the heroes to get the ganks off. They have the heroes to outplay. I love this TP rotation from Franz. I think it did get spotted, though, by the Observer Ward, so they know that he's here.
It wasn't picked out. It might have been close. They're going to charge mid instead, it looks like. And look for a rotation with 04. They're going to try to combine this. This timing needs to be perfect. Franz will come through. The ward did not scout that out. And they're going to charge MGod. He's got the Nightmare. There's going to be the Tether coming through as well. And Rhyme is just too
Rhyme's
far
so
away.
slow.
They're going to look for Smash. Smash will go in the other direction. And he's going to pop the Avalanche and the Toss. And they'll secure the kill. 04 almost going down the brain sap, but he gets salved up. That's a big pickup as Rhyme gets the kill. Great rotations. You've got to get this Spirit Breaker involved. And he TP's bottom just to charge mid. I like the play. They get the kill.
And it wasn't just about the TP bottom, it was to get the Iron Shell. It essentially makes it a 4-hero gank on the mid lane instead of just a 3. It's a great audible. If you see an instant opportunity to go on the jug, you can get the kill.
Nightmare doesn't get off. There's going to be the Avalanche. Toss will come through. Good heal, but he tosses him back into the creep wave. But there, Brainsap comes in, and now they've gone in too deep. Wasn't enough creeps that are doing enough damage. And Franz, Nightmare's going to come through. Rhyme bottling back up. He's got the toss. MGod has to stay a bit further back. The Courier, no! What are you doing? Oh, not again. 2 games in a row that Smash finds the Courier. And it was boots. Rhyme's boots on it, in fact.
He needs those boots so bad. They lost him the kill there a bit. It was a great piss of the attack from Smash to keep the Bane alive, but just a little bit too overly aggressive there, and losing the Courier is such a big loss.
These mistakes are adding up now, man. Like, they're playing well, they've rotated well, but the mistake early on in the early team fight, now top, they're getting dove on 04. Van already stunned up. Bash, no proc yet. Maybe this one will do the job. Doesn't even need it. Just kills him with his right click. The TP will come in late. He's looking for his stun from Bisa. Can't find it. You know, let's try to just take some farm instead. They actually do have vision. They're going to charge up Van, but this is just going to get him back to the lane quicker, I believe. I don't think he's not going to go for this.
Iron Shell.
This is questionable. Yeah, he'll just jump in, get the charge, do some extra damage, and then back away.
I would like to see some more ganks on the safe lane here. They've pretty consistently had Juggernaut just sitting down here. Rotate 2 heroes maybe, go for kills. The problem is that it's going to take either Tiny or Sven to score the kill on Jug, so it's a little bit tough. But I think it's the easiest lane to gank on.
Not even with the maybe Spirit Breaker and Darkseer, can you get this kill, do you think?
Spirit Breaker and Darkseer alone is dangerous, because the damage is so slow that you wouldn't be able to kill him rapidly.
True. Mystico will find Corey, Surge. She's probably got a Nightmare. Blade Fury is about to come out, I imagine. Omni Slash first, and it will go, and Corey will take some damage. He's near the creep wave. He's got no Surge available, and the Brain Sap will clean it up. So Mystico picks up another kill, and it's starting to get out of control now.
Yeah, if you're losing a tri-lane, shifting to the solo lane, the solo 1v1, especially when you're doing aggressive lanes like this, it's usually it's a little bit unexpected, and it's really easy to do. TP to the tower, set up the kill on the hero, and try to get that kill. And that's basically what they did there. Shift the Bane down, get the easy Darkseer kill.
Franz is looking for a charge, and he's going to find Masoka here in just a moment to throw the ward down. Instead, they're going to stun up on Van. They actually do have Shallow Grave at the ready, and it's level 2 as well. So even if they go on Van, he's going to get graved up here pretty early unless Franz can get a bash. But she will. The overcharge will come. The Sitherian Crush hits up as well. They've got the stun in 3 for the Bean Sven. They can't find it, as they're all pretty speedy to sprint away. And this is just such a hard lane to kill without the burst potential.
It is really tough. Elite Wolves now pressuring the bot lane.
No Omni Slash. Corey shouldn't die here. He's going to get brain sapped, however.
Nightmare wouldn't do anything at this point, other than set up a Blade Fury. So if he wastes Surge, then it's good. But they'll just cut the creep wave, and this will allow them to take the tower a little faster. Bane's playing great here.
Yeah, I mean, Mystico, again, has been on top of rotations. You talked about it. I mean, this is just looking pretty fantastic for them in all lanes. They're winning all 3 of them. The Sven's only at 25 CS, and again, he has to build up a lot of items to be effective, and it's not looking good right now. The Tiny got pretty much, left mid. He gets the toss back on Smash, but Smash just presses the attack and overwhelming odds, and now there's a charge coming in. Yeah, Fiend's Grip's gonna come out. The charge is not there in time. Rhyme's in trouble. They need the tether overcharge coming in. There's the duel coming through. Do they have the damage? They will get the kill and the duel win, but Smash might die for this. Good Nightmare coming in. Here's the heal. They do have the shallow grab, but no, the overwhelming odds. They don't even need to throw that in the W button from Hisoku. And Ewo comes in as well. Will pick up the third kill casually. Walks in, gets the right click, and that'll do the job. Smash still graved up. Will take the shadow wave as well. He was taking some tower hits, and now they will look for the tier 1 tower as they get 3 quick kills. And Elite Wolves on their way to a 3-0 Group A win.
Man, they're just getting outplayed here in the mid lane. Rhyme is just seems a little tilted. They got that one good kill, but the last couple of fights have been slight to moderate mistakes from him. There's just no chance that he was going to kill the Legion commander there, and he used his full combo. And then he just put himself in a dangerous position for no reason.
Man, can he actually get this kill? They need the charge. He's not quite there yet. He turns around and dies for some reason. He just gives his life up to this Sven. Almost getting the stun up, I believe, was the case.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to kill him there. He did just enough damage to score the kill. It was very close.
All right, the Bean. Bisa's still trying to get this game even. He's going to buy the Helm of the Dom, and that'll allow him some lifesteal. No treads just yet. Maybe he goes for Boots Travel. Probably not, but...
I like this choice because his HP was really low. I think normally he would just keep the Helm of Iron Will for a bit, but he can instantly start jungling with this, and it's a lot safer than being in lane, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he needs some safe place to farm. The problem is he's near an Observer Ward, and so if they walk up, he needs to crush him. And Van is very close to a Blink. This is going to be about a 10-minute Blink Dagger coming up from the Slardar as well. Their net worth lead, 5,000, almost 7,500 at 9 minutes, and this game looked a lot closer, but, ever since a couple of those fights mid, and... those fights top, it's just not been going well.
He has found out Harpy Stormcaller, really good neutral creep to use in the early game. Has a 140 damage nuke on a 4-second cooldown, and you can cast it like 10 times. So he can use this to farm, he can use this to scout, he can harass heroes. For now, he continues jungling, and that's why that early Helm of the Dominator is so big. Gives him something to do right now.
Van throws up the damage. Nightmare does get in from Mystico. Beautifully done. They were just making sure he doesn't get away. Van's going to try to set himself up for a kill. Now the Fiend's Grip comes out. Van will come in with the Slithering Crush. No way he stays alive here. Slithering Crush will get the kill. Even bashes him for good measure and just says, no, you are not leaving. Franz will get taken down, and another kill goes the way of that gang squad of those 3 heroes up at the top lane. All the meanwhile, Ewo continues to farm safe lane and is up to 2,000 gold, Purge.
That's a lot of gold, man. And with FDL's weak disabling heroes, they have a Wisp and a Darkseer and a Spirit Breaker. They don't have good ways of stopping people from instantly initiating. They have to use like Charge and Avalanche to stop that. It's not great. So if you get a big mobility item like a Blink this fast, and you don't have your ultimates yet on a bunch of your heroes, then it's very hard to deal with Slardar jumping right on top of you. If E-Wolves gets the good setups, it's going to be super hard for FTL to take these fights.
Rhyme is very near a duel. In fact, he's going to run right into one as there's an Observer Ward, gets Brain Sap, jumped in from Van. Van even missed the Slithering Crush. Didn't really matter, obviously. Just the ward placement coming out from Hisoku this time around, making sure they get vision in not only the jungle, but behind the tower as well. And so this is a free tier 1 for Smash. Gets up to 20 duel damage already with just the level 1 duel. Rhyme forced to go phase, and still not anywhere close to a Blink or a good item.
It's looking pretty scary here for FDL. But
Ewo, charge? They're looking for Corey instead, and Corey is in trouble. One more right click will do the job. Can they get Ewo, though? He does have his Omni Slash. Can he get it off? They need the stun. They'll find it, and that will be the kill. He was trying to juke around the tree line. They had just enough vision, however, to get the kill, and that's actually a big pickup for Bisa. But on the other side, Corey will lose his life to, I believe, the... No, he actually got split, so...
Yeah,
okay.
That's Slardar being really strong. Like, Darkseer has massive armor, but he makes him look really squishy once the amp damage comes out. Sentry Ward's going to block the Ancients.
Yeah, they should know. They saw the Harpy Stormcrafter was hopefully getting vision of God having a sentry and having placed one down, but nonetheless, it's still going to be annoying to deal with. We have to remember that Elite Wolves, before Unknown came through, they were the premier Peruvian team. This is the team, sans Mihawk, of course, that took down Alliance. They took down a lot of good teams back in the day, and of course on major ping issues. Now, Elite Wolves, you could say, okay, they had a rough time during the major qualifiers. Maybe they're not the best Peruvian or South American team anymore, but they're starting to get back to form. And it looks like they're going to take this group 3-0. They're up 13-4 now. It's obviously still very early on in the game. 7,500 net worth lead, but this early Roche is going to go even further for them. But do they know? Franz, Rhyme, and Corey are nearby. They're not going to be able to spot this just yet. There's a haste rune down to the bottom rune spot. They're going to send the Harpy Stormcrafter in, but
Rhyme's going for the rune. They see it. This is perfect timing. Can they fight it?
Nash has the haste rune now. Misoku's
They can
nearby,
relocate.
all 5. They need the relocate coming in. They're going to find M-God to jump in. Franz, the duel comes out in Corey. Corey's in trouble. Here's the relocate. Slither Crush comes in perfectly. Feeds grip on Ryan. They'll find the vacuum onto Smash on the high ground. That's good. The stun on it too. Van has to get the grave up. Now Van's low. Tries to TP out. Looks like he will make it away. Now the Omni Slash charge through. Doesn't get out. The buyback from Ryan will find M-God. There's the toss. That'll get the kill. Will they find anything else? Ewo has to back away. Smashing Misoku. Thinking about finishing off Roche. Deciding against it. Throw a ward down. No. Misoku, he just puts the sentry on the high ground and says, let's back up. Buyback from M-God. They want to fight this. There's no tier 1 tower. Ewo is still in the tree line. They're going to cut off the path of the retreat. Smash going to walk in. Toss, avalanche combo will go. Can they get this kill? Press the attack. They charge in. Misoku, he's got the grave up, but he can't use it. Buyback now again. Coming in from Smash on the other side. They find the jug finally, and they bring him down. But there's the Nightmare. Fiend's Grip is still down for 54. Rhyme. The Nightmare will be taken away. Overwhelming odds. They dodge it because of the Nightmare coming through. There's the Avalanche Toss combo. Now the Tether comes in. Brain Sap. They give him the heal with the Overcharge coming through. Smash looking for more. Duel finally gets out. Can they stop this? They've got charge. No, the mana's not there. There's the toss. Smash in trouble. Might be a dieback. Will it? The last right click and Ryan will get it done. Misoku's low. He's got Grave. Will just barely get it off. He has the TP, but he's not going to be able to make it out. One more right click and Ryan gets the double. They're throwing
God.
4 heroes, 5 heroes, 6 heroes dead. What is happening? And now Roche is theirs for FDL to take. Unbelievable. The guys swiftly get popped out, and this is their Roshan.
They are back in it so hard. Oh my god, they were losing so bad, but the fight has just continued to go well for them. They're gonna spot off Van.
Oh. Blinks away. Ewo has the Shadow Blade. The spirits will hit him. Can he take this? Omni Slash is not up. Oh, they've got to be careful. Ewo's getting low. The cleave. He picks it up. He gets it and the kill. No snatch necessary. And they'll use the Aegis immediately. And they're going to toss some Ant Storm Hammer him, but they got the Aegis and the Roche kill. They made something out of nothing there, but they'll lose Ewo once more. And they now need to leave. They've all been weaved up, but Purge... Still, they lose Roche, but they get a huge fight going back in their favor.
I honestly don't even think losing the Aegis is that big of a deal there. Like, it's so early in the game that using Aegis is a tactical opportunity. It's good, obviously, but you're not 5-manning as much. Okay, they don't have an Aegis, but they just killed the enemy's carry again. And he got nothing out of it other than preventing an Aegis. At this point, FDL's like, we're back in it, man. I'll trade an Aegis for a carry kill.
That's huge. Oh my god, is that huge. Van getting caught. The vacuum onto Smash. He was up on the high ground. He got it. I actually think he chopped his way down with the trees. No, how did he just die? He must have. He must have just been stuck up there. I'm pretty sure.
There was a lot of stuff. I'm not even going to talk about that fight.
Yeah, dude,
There
I
was
don't know
so
what the
many
hell
crazy
happened.
situations.
I don't know what happened.
It's basically FDL kept getting to use their abilities, and they caught the Roche at the perfect time. It had so much HP that they had to fight. Oh, relocate coming.
Relocate. Van might be in trouble. He's got the blink away in 4, but gets stunned first. Now the charge comes in. And there's going to be another strike, and they will get the kill. They don't even need the ultimate coming out from the Spirit Breaker. Big pickup again. But now they on the other side of the map. Ewo finding Rhyme. No blink. 1600. They'll get the Fiend's Grip off, and he's done so. Loses 300 gold in the process, and that's a dominating spree that Bane will pick up, which puts him even closer to that Glimmer Cape. In fact, he'll have it in about 8 gold.
That's actually a big loss for Rhyme. He really needs to get his Blink Dagger. He obviously got a lot done in the last fight, but Blink is going to allow him to counter-initiate a lot easier. Corey may get Omni Slashed here. If they can combo that with an amp damage, anybody dies. Maybe not with the mech now, though.
The Shadow Blade pickup has been huge. I love it, but there's no detection for FDL in either. That's a bigger thing. Evil's just going to go ahead and start right-clicking the tower. They have no Tiny. What does Tiny go for, by the way? He had 1600 gold. It looks like he might have been saving up for that Blink Dagger. Does he still pick that up, or what?
He's got to get a Blink. I think Blink is too good on Tiny to pass up in almost all cases, especially when you're... I mean, I guess if you're with an IO, you don't necessarily have to get it, but he's behind enough where he should go for one-shotting people. There's plenty of great targets. Dazzle, Juggernaut, Bane. If you go first and you get to initiate, then Blink is going to be invaluable. And even Legion Commander. If Legion Commander gets a bad duel and you can turn that fight around and give duel damage to your cores instead,
yep.
Like, Blink is so valuable this game.
Imagine if like Sven wins like 2 or 3 like level 3 duels or something like that, or even like level 2 duels.
What if he just buys an item that gives him 60 damage instead?
I mean, that could work too.
Exactly the same.
But you're not spending gold when you get duel wins, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I guess. But he's not going to duel the Sven in most cases. He actually doesn't win that battle. Another duel or charge coming. They do have a dust. Here comes the relocate.
Ewo in trouble. Relocate's gonna go, and there it is. And the dust comes out. Another strike to stop him in place, and He'll try to get out. Good grave from Hisoku will keep him alive. Do they cut their losses? Vacuum back. The urn is up. The Glimmer Cape. One more right click. No, he's got the healing ward. They can't get there in time. And they'll have to back away. Relocate will bring him out. Corey might be in trouble. Van looking for a blink and initiation. He's got the sprint. Corey, no TP. This is going to turn into a duel victory here, it looks like. Yeah, there it is. That's 34 duel damage, plus the Blade Mail comes out for Smash as well. So close to getting that kill on Ewo, but great rotation from Hisoku to get the grave off.
Yeah, the only mistake there was a little bit of a chase. Only mistake there was the relocate was a little bit late. I think they didn't want to relocate until the charge was about to hit, because the spin was going to therefore block the damage and then prevent the Sven stun from coming, but maybe they could have timed it slightly better, because if they did get the chain stun without the spin, they instantly kill him without him being able to get away. So, slight mistake there, and FDL gets punished by it, but I don't think it's a big deal. They're doing a great job with the charges.
Yes, and they have, because of these charges, they're getting good map control as well. If they're charging towards your tier 2 tower bottom, you're not really feeling comfortable sitting close to a tier 2 tower on the other sides. But Smash and MGod, clearly not really that interested. They're looking for a blink, and they're going to find one on Corey more than likely here. Maybe not. Smash decided against it. He saw him come in, does not go for the blink duel, and probably TP rotations would have been too many anyways. SMY is completed for the Sven, by the way.
Yeah, and the other thing is that Darkseer doesn't do that much damage, so the Blade Mail that's on the Legion Commander isn't going to leverage him a kill against Darkseer, unless Darkseer has an Ion Shell up on himself. It's the only way. So for now, they're looking for kills, but the heroes they want to find are probably just Io and maybe the 3 heroes against any of the other cores. So there aren't that many weak cores in FDL, and they have to be careful because there can always be a relocate with a core. So the game gets very difficult for E-Wolves here. They can't just play it like they did the earlier game where they just get kills all over the map. They have to play it safe now because they threw that long engagement.
Yeah, they still have good late game potential. They've got a Slaughter, they've got a Legion, and they've got a Juggernaut. And we've seen what Ewo can do once maybe getting that the Scotty rather. Rhyme has picked up a Blink Dagger for himself. Good Vision is going to scout some things out though. They have this ward towards the Roche Pit, and now there's a smoke coming out from Elite Wolves. Knowing something's up, it looks like FDL will back up for now. Ward might spot them. They're going to relocate top. There's the Nether Strike. Ewo caught out. The bash comes through. Will they find the relocate back? Where did he relocate from is the question. I think back towards the tier 2 tower, yeah. So instead they'll look for Corey down bottom. Corey can TP out at any moment's notice, and he'll do just that. They make it out in time. Looks like he will. He's fine. And they avoid a gank of their own, and they actually get the kill on Ewo. Good turnaround.
That's actually one of the biggest things you can do in a game, is when you're about to get ganked, you actually relocate somewhere else. It's so big. And you get to kill your own. It wastes their time. They just wasted 30 seconds for 4 heroes, and they secured a kill for themselves. And the Jug is continuously put down. I mean, he's not accelerating very fast. He's got a Shadow Blade, but he doesn't yet have his drum following up after it.
Yeah.
Sven will outcarry him.
Yeah, that's the good point. And Sven is starting to get up there in terms of farm. His Helm of the Dom is SNY now up to 1,000 gold. Not to mention the overcharge, which will be coming through. For now, we'll probably keep it on Rhyme. We'll have to wait and see. The drum is done. He bought it before he died, but still, another death goes the way of Elite Wolves. All right, this game is getting more and more interesting by the second here. I do want to point out 4 of the top 5, I think, or 3 of the top 4, rather, in net worth are on the side of Elite Wolves again, which is what we saw last game. But the Alchemist was the one that was on top last game, and he wasn't doing anything. This time, you do have the Sven, and he does a lot more in terms of team fighting, in terms of ganking with the IO. I like it.
He also has a lot more potential to just win a team fight by himself, compared to a lot of carries. Kind of similar to what an Ember Spirit does with Sleight of Fist and Battle Fury. If you just get a little too grouped up, you just lose the entire fight. And that's something they have to be really scared about. And they've got the Darkseer combo with it. If you throw a Sven stun and then the vacuum comes in, they get grouped up and you can just AoE stun for 2 seconds.
Bronze. Oh my lord. He reacted a little bit too late to that. Meanwhile, Fiend's Grip coming out. MGod. Van will jump in. He's got the Slytherin, but there's the double stun. There's the toss ammo coming out. No, they don't get the toss off, but now the duel comes through. The Bean in trouble. The damage tossed back. Smash can't get the duel in, not yet anyways, and Smash is low. The right click dominating spree from Bisa. MGod getting chased out. Glimmer Cape. Vacuum still alive. The last right click. No, the toss will do the job. Dominating spree for 04 as well as they get that kill. So close, but the double stun coming out from Bisa, the double stun coming out from Rhyme, and the toss back to make sure that Smash does not win that duel. And they're going to take this tier 2 tower, or tier 1 tower rather, in the top lane. Maybe even get 2 if they wanted to.
I mean, they just took no damage during that duel. That was the power of Warcry and the overcharge on Wisp. There's just not that much damage on Smash. He had a great early game, but
Ewo, Shadow Blades into the tree line, has the charge on him. They have the dust, they'll use it. He's got spin, Nether Strike will fly. There's the stun as well. And Ewo, we'll see you later. They're all over the goddamn map. FDL will find yet another relocate gank kill. They'll leave 04 back up towards that top lane, and they just said, okay, you're on your own. But he's completely fine, no rebuttal.
Yep, that's IO, man. Just all over on the map. And the Sven continues. Goes to farm, then he gets taken to a tower push in a team fight, then he relocates for a kill. Like, he's spending so much time collecting resources right now that he's a full 2k net worth above everybody else right now.
That's huge. They did block his ancient... I think this blocks the ancients. I mean, I would imagine. I don't know what else you put that word there for.
It very well might, especially because that tree is killed. I'm pretty sure that will block you.
There's absolutely no vision against them, so I have to imagine that's going to be the choice. Speaking of BKBs, I wasn't even talking about it, but, well, there's a BKB up for Van, and Sven is getting his own BKB as he has almost got it, so that's good. However, this game is still very well in like, Elite Wolves could take this back. Like you said, Sven can outcarry, but a couple bad fights could be tough. I don't know, we'll see.
Sentry can grab the Observer Ward, but they don't see that it's in the trees. It's a great camp to block, because that's the main source of Sven's farm. Oh, he gets initiated on.
Sven in trouble. No BKB. Jumping. Good back, though. There's the stun. Feedscript comes out. They've got to stop Masoku. BKB on Van as well. Feedscript still going through Slithering Crush. They relocated him out. Now they want to keep going. Blink forward. Corey looking for something. No wall available. Nether Strike. M-God might be the sacrificial lamb. Rhyme has a haste rune. Blinks forward. Gets the avalanche and the toss. We'll see you later, Mr. Bane. Not Bane, rather, but Dazzle. Bane is still getting chased down. The dust is up. And now he will finally fall. 2 dead. Both supports. Could be worse, but still, that's a duel down. Omni Slash still at the ready. Actually, it was Fiend's Grip, not duel. Oh, these ultimates, man. Good overwhelming odds, but this tier 1 tower is going to fall after the glyph is used. And Roche is back up, by the way.
Man, Sven's survivability is just too high. The Legion Commander's not paying off at all this game.
Yeah.
It doesn't add anything for them killing the Sven. He's not going to overwhelming odds. He can't just duel the guy that's getting Fiend's Grip. Like, that hero is just not working this game. It was great in the early game, but at this point, it's not paying off at all.
Yeah, Sven is... The Warcry, as you mentioned. The 20 bonus armor.
He has 38 bonus right now, armor.
That's how are you supposed to right-click through that?
What does that even... How does he even get that high? Oh, that was Warcry, of course.
I don't know how much that translates into. There is a diminishing return there, but it still is... Yeah,
it's not much, very, very little diminishing return. It essentially keeps going.
Yeah. I think 1/3 is what you said, Pimp. Yeah, okay. 1/3. That's still pretty good. Ewo? Toss Ava. He does get off the Shadow Blade, but is dead anyways to Corey's Iron Shell on the dark. I can't even see it on Rhyme. It doesn't even show up.
It's on
really.
Tiny. It doesn't show very well on him.
Yeah. Top lane, they're looking for potential gank into Van. Warcry's going to go through. They have no blink, but he actually blinks away himself. Van will be able to sprint out too. Ooh, the gem pickup coming out for the Bane. Rhyme Shadow Bladed. He's going to get charged up. There's the right click coming through. And toss Ava. Almost getting the Grave off. He actually went for the weave first. Now he pops it down. Nether Strike going to go up. And he's got the Grave. Can he get it off in time? Absolutely. Good Slithering Crush. He'll try to TP out. Now the BKB on the Van. Look at the right click. Oh, the God Strength. 2 more should do the job. 1. Boom.
Oh my God.
The Hammer Fist from Rhyme the Tiny. And they'll just start hunting heroes down. They said screw Roche, screw objectives. We're just going to killing you. 18 to 21 the score. The net worth graph, it was 7,500 for Elite Wolves. It's now down in the opposite direction. Whew.
Yep, Sven's in his power curve right here. This is like the strongest Sven moment in the game. Maybe when he gets his Daedalus, he's a little stronger, but he's just almost impossible for E-Wolves to kill. They have the counters. Sven is literally the counter against these 3 cores. They're entirely physical based. They don't have very much burst damage. And as long as he presses Warcry or has the Wisp there to back him up, he just can't die.
There's too much to deal with at this point. FDL, this is just one of the heroes, not to mention the Tiny who's been getting solo kills with his Shadow Blade. There is that gem on the Bane, however. Who did he give it to? He still has it. Okay, good. And the Jug is just not farming. Like you said, he's getting out carried. He just picked up the Blade of Alacrity after just finishing his run like 5 minutes ago or so. So at this point, I don't know. They got to get something going. I don't know what you do as Elite Wolves to counteract this, but I can't really be physical, but that's all they really have. So it's catch-22 kind of.
Dagons. Lots of Dagons.
I actually think that's not a terrible idea.
No, that's a terrible idea. He's got a BKB, man. That's not going to do shit.
Not against him, but against everybody else.
Oh, they found the Observer over there. Nice.
They tethered through it. They saw it. They'll take it down. Dollar Crest is up for 04, who's been having a ridiculous game, and this is just their Roche. They just gotta solo it with Bisa doing the job here with God's Strength. They'll take it down. He'll take the Aegis, and Elite Wolves, this is not looking great for them, and we could be maybe seeing the beginnings of a three-way tie. Obviously, they have to finish out this game, FDL do, as well as take down Mischief in the next game, but they're in a good spot right now.
Yeah, I could see them totally doing that. I think they can beat Mischief. They still got to finish this one, though, but it's looking so good. Like, the late game, it just gets better and better and better for FDL. Rhyme completely recovered. All of their supports are doing well. They've got tons of chain stuns. They've got cleave damage. They have all the solutions for Elite Wolves.
Rhyme's going in deep. Does he know they have the Bane gem up? He should see it soon. But he will need to be careful. He's been looking for a lot of these solo picks. I'm surprised they haven't gotten gem of their own. They have plenty of gold, but I guess they don't need one. They have pure map control right now. Oh well. Well, where do we go from here? I mean, do they defend this tier 2 bottom with the Aegis?
They need to wait until FDL is split, and then they have to try to kill one person and anticipate the relocate. If FDL just 5-mans, the game gets really hard for Elite Wolves, because they probably can't win a 5v5. They can try to just kill the IO at the start of the fight, that's one solution. But I don't know if they can do that without using their ultimates, because without their ultimates, they probably can't kill Sven afterwards. Just so tough.
I guess Aosin wasn't wrong. 04 is a goddamn IO player. You pointed it out, so he's actually playing so on point this game.
He started out 0-4, and since then he's now gone 5-1-9. So that's pretty good. It was definitely a rough early game, especially that first engagement.
Absolutely. I mean, but it's not the best early game team. Obviously, the charging helped out. I think Franz kept this game glued together for them. And this is exactly what you would expect to see from FDL. And we have Aegis. Let's push down all the tier 2 towers. We can maybe back off. We don't need to get Rax yet after we take down these tier 2s and maybe finish up the Ags on Rhyme, get Bisa his next item, which he's up to 3,400 gold, the beginnings of a Chrysalis, into a Daedalus more than likely. Ewo is just trying to find farm anywhere he can, and it's in the jungle right now. He'll be building towards a Yasha into more than likely a Manta, I guess. And then we'll see what happens afterwards.
I've never seen an amp damage on a hero and him have positive armor. That's so peculiar looking. He's like totally fine.
Yeah, he is
Doesn't
not.
do anything.
He is not really concerned. Jesus. And it's not even just his armor either. He's got 2,000 HP. The BKB SNY starting to stack up here.
Yeah, the strength points are so valuable for Sven, because every strength point you get, it gives you 2 extra damage when you use God's Strength. Not to mention the extra survivability it gives. Just makes Sven so good. He goes for a Moon Shard. Interesting skill build here.
Wow.
Normally we'd see a Crystal or something. Oh, 04 in trouble.
Oh, the Warcry, he doesn't have it. He just used it, but 04, he's actually just going to be fine. Good rotation from Bisa, just to walk up, and he wasn't really expecting anything, but he helps his buddy out there by... that was a spree, too, I believe the IO had on him, so... Bottom relocate going in. They're going to find the kill on the Slardar easily. They don't even need that relocate gank. They were dead by the time he got there. He was dead anyway.
Kidding. He just instantly died. So Omni Slash is wasted. That was a solo IO, by the way, more or less, and the Omni Slash didn't kill him. But he's got a Solar Crest, and he has a Tranquil Boots. His armor is actually really healthy. And he's going for a Halberd.
There's no glyph available. They have to buy back on the Slardar, or just let this Rax go. But God's Strength is up. The Aegis is still there. And here comes the Bane, looking for the Nightmare. He'll find it. Now there's going to be the duel popped up and smash. Bean's grip on Rhyme as well. Charge in. Bean still in trouble. They'll lose Rhyme immediately. Down for 63 seconds. Blade Fury going. Smash going to work. Gets bashed up. And Bean actually just finishing off the Rex. Objective gaming first. Now the Nether Struck on Smash. Will hit up. Smash is getting low. Jump in from Van. Onto 04. Stun up. Smash trying to do what it can. Still alive. The Shadow Wave. Bisa's Nightmare forever. Hasn't even used his BKB yet. 2 dead on the side of FDL in. They will take down the Melee Rex. They want Bisa. The stun will come out. He pops the BKB. Can he do this? Can he 1v5 them? It looks like no. He has to leave. He's got the Aegis still, but he's got nobody to help out. There's no IO relocate. The BKB is going to be down. Warcry to get him going. Just a bit move, a little bit faster to get out of here. Now the Shadow Blade. There's the Endurance Haze coming out from the Spirit Breaker. They're still chasing him down. The net. Oh my god. What a play. He HOD'd the frickin' creep and netted him. That was insane. That is going to keep at least one of them alive, if not both. They just missed the frost. Are you joking me? Oh my lord, that was next level.
And he kept him alive. He kept himself alive. He saves the Aegis. That was an absolutely sick play there. And with the sentry down, like, they played that perfectly. I think the SB was maybe anticipating Charge, the hero that was close by, but saving Sven there was so big. I'm not sure if I'm sold on this Moon Shard, but I really like how E-Wolves played that fight. They said, okay, Tiny is way easier to kill. He's got a lot of HP, but he doesn't have the same armor levels. So they jump in, they throw everything on Tiny, kill Tiny, and that limited so much more of FDL's burst damage as well as their ability to chase. So that was a really good target finding there from Elite Wolves.
Yeah, they only lost the tier 3 tower and melee Rax bottom, but and that was almost an impeccable initiation. And they get the courier as Rhyme now has his Aghanim Scepter completed, blinks in, finds it. There's nothing on it, luckily enough. However, it's still dead and still some extra gold you don't want to give away, as well as the double damage rune that Rhyme is going to find and more than likely bottle up here. That's frightening.
So for now, they sit in their base. They still did lose the melee racks in that fight, so definitely a team fight win there for FDL. Got a lot of big items picked up. Shiva's Guard on Darkseer. Rhyme obviously transitioning to a partially carry. And Spirit Breaker just totally standard stuff. Vlad's with the Claymore. Nothing new yet for Sven, but he's got 1700 gold past his Moonshard. I think Crystal or Daedalus is probably his next item for sure. He needs to crit.
I think the issue of Blink also could be addressed later on. I'm not sure. I mean, because the Item did die in that fight, and maybe he wants to rely on his own a little bit, but
maybe even a Basher Abyssal wouldn't be awful this game.
I don't
there's a lot
care.
of BKBs on Eternal or Elite Wolves.
I don't care what he does. That Helm of the Dominator play was the sickest thing I've ever seen, or one of them anyway.
I mean, it was really good. I wouldn't say it's like the sickest thing I've ever seen, but it was really cool. It was a super sick play.
Well, back to farming the enemy jungle. They'll take down the tier 2 tower. And, yep. Back to farming. FDL.
Where's his Dark Troll, man?
He got the...
He let it die?
Yeah, and he got the Alpha Wolf instead.
That's just cold-hearted, man. That shit saved his life. Alpha Wolf is better, though.
The Alpha Wolf definitely provides more. This is not really like, you know, if you save my life, I'm gonna just let you live and be my pet. No, he's the Alpha Wolf. He wants the damage. He's going for the jugular here. Let's see, playing carry in game 7, where 7 has 1 or fewer deaths at 35 minutes. Seems to have a 78% win rate. I'm surprised it's not higher. That's interesting. Whatever.
I mean, Sven can't do everything.
That's
but
true.
78% is amazing. That's like very, very good chances of winning your game. Is he gonna buy anything else?
Chrysalis is available. You'd have to sell it.
Doesn't have space. He's gotta wait for the Aegis to go away. Looks like they're just gonna play safe for now. They're gonna farm items.
He could, no, I mean the Moonshard he could use, but I guess you don't get the. It only does 60 attacks being consumed.
Yeah, so. I really don't like doing that personally. I think it really limits the item. You're wasting half of it. You lose the vision bonus. If you're gonna buy a Moonshard, in a lot of cases, you should either hold on to it or it's your like 7th item or whatever.
Late game item.
Definitely better to save it in most cases. Especially on a Sven, because a lot of times you only have about 2 seconds to attack them until they become unstunned, and that's your most crucial moment where you get kills. So you need as much attack speed as possible to take advantage of that low stun duration that you get out of your Stormhammer.
AC is the choice for Rhyme. I'm not sure if you talked about that already. And
no, I saw the Hyperstone, wasn't sure about the AC. It's a good pick, though.
It should be. Still, this does allow Elite Wolves to get back and farm kind of their own jungle. They've put some pressure on the bottom jungle, but Elite Wolves, they've gotten, I think, a little bit more than they probably should have gotten. Van is going to be building his own AC. It looks like he's getting the Hyperstone. And they're looking for more. Smash is going to get charged down. He realizes he might be in some trouble. And, well, Rhyme's going to look for a toss Avalanche. He'll find the Avalanche first. The Nether Strike's going to come out. Smash does have the BKB, the Stormhammer. He does get graved. They relocate forward. They want more. There's going to be the Ghost Scepter at MGod. Stays alive, but Ewo gets crushed by the God Strength. Down for 67. They're still chasing MGod getting chased down. But, no, they will not go high ground. They will not die for this yet, but they're going to push in. And of course, there's creeps in the base. Now they can just go for this tier 3 tower, jump in. Rhyme actually now gets the toss, or rather the Avalanche first. Toss back as well. Pops the BKB. Now gets graved. There's going to the duel. But look at this. Healing back up the overcharge. And Smash cannot fight this. Too much damage. It's got to be Rax again. Rhyme still nightmared. Buyback in from Smash. But at this point, it's too little too late. 2 sets of Rax down. And unless FDL make a drastic mistake, I don't see them losing this game. They're going to get 4-man weave. They do need to be careful, but Rhyme goes right back in. Toss Ava on the slaughter again. No buyback from him. This tier 3's done so. They have the glyph. They'll use it. But it looks nigh impossible as FDL, your open qualifier bracket winners, or at least one of the 2. They're still going. They're going to look for MGod. Stuns up. No God Strength. Good grave, but it's only going to keep him alive for a second longer. He will pop the Ghost Scepter. Do they have any magic damage? Heals right up with the Brain Sap and actually stays alive a little bit longer. But now there's Smash jumping in. No duel. He wants Rhyme, but he can't get it. Finally, we'll bring him down. Doesn't matter. In the end of the day, Smash is a dieback as well, and Elite Wolves are just fighting for pride at this point. As Bisa, well, him and the rest of his crew are going to take Megas. And Purge, this looks like it's going to be it.
Man, once FDL won that extended team fight, Elite Wolves just really felt like they had the biggest advantage ever, but it wasn't there. They threw away that fight in the mid game, and FDL just completely ran away with this game with their picks. Their picks were absolutely solid against the late game that Elite Wolves had.
Omni Slash will go. Warcry, the GG's called already, and Ewo is going to have to limp out of here, barely make it back to the well. No Grave up for another 5. Tier 4 is being assaulted, and I can't believe it. This was looking terrible for them, Purge. Great game, though. A lot of fun to watch.
Yeah,
They won this game in that extended team fight. That's basically what it came down to. They had some great ganks afterwards with Relocate, but the big thing was that Elite Wolves stomped the early game, had a giant advantage, but in that long engagement, they kept buying back and kept getting killed. They just didn't have that many lockdowns, and they weren't able to stop FDL from kiting them and continuously circling back in and getting burst kills. So really well played by FDL to take that big engagement and to close the game out after that. I really like the picks in the late game, but I feel like Elite Wolves is going to be shaking their head a little bit and say, we threw this one away.
Yeah, I think that's definitely how they're feeling, and it gets harder for them. They only had to do is win this game, and that would be them getting into the bracket, the playoffs, of course. But now, FDL have another shot here. If they can get this win against Mischief in the next game that is coming up, well, it could be a very interesting three-way tie. We'll talk about that and more on our post-game show that is coming up in just a second, guys. Stick around.